Ooh, alright. Let me get some music on. But, welcome. I hope it's not like a lot of background noise. We just got finished cleaning our rug, but so today is officially Noob Day. Right? So today we're doing PvP Noob Day, and that means we're going to be doing a ton of PvP once we finish this match. And we're going to discuss all of the need-to-knows for anywhere from probably around, what, Fighter 1 to Conqueror 3? So ignore the testing chats and whatever that I did. But, yeah. Okay. Ooh, okay. Yeah, if you notice, I got a green screen, but I'm waiting for my cam to come in, my face cam, because right now I'm only using the laptop one. But all right, so we'll wait for people to join in, but just I guess first things first. Let me know if the music's alright. Alright, so we're discussing Fighter 1 to Conqueror 3 topics, right? So it's going to be a little bit hard for me to explain, especially when I'm up all the way up here. I could probably drop, but that probably won't happen for a while. It'll take a lot of points for me to drop. I think the Conqueror 1 rating is like it'd be nice to be around the Conqueror 1 rating. It's around 1853. I'm all the way up at 21. So that's 300 points I would need to drop. That's far. So I'm trying out a new defense too, right? You want to see Arya runes? Those are her stats. Oh! I'm trying to get a good time for people because I know there's people from all around the world, right? But yeah, those are my Arya stats. And I just re-ruined a lot of monsters too. I'm making Vertihill into an attack-based. But yeah. So okay, so what are we gonna start with? What's the first topic we want to start with? I'll do some fights so you can just observe, and then once people start pouring in, we'll change up and we'll start covering topics because we're gonna have to cover a lot of ground, right? I ruined up Speed Lucian now, and a lot of people outspeed me, which is why I have to use Vanessa leader skill, which is a bit of a cheat, which is kind of shitty, but we didn't quite get that Sierra. Oh, there we go. Boom, kill. And then we'll start going after that trait. And yeah, there we go. I'll talk about all of the different AOs that you can use, as well as the different defenses that you can use. That's what I mean by we're going to be covering it all. Alright, so next one on the list is this one. I hate when Monkey King's paired with immunity. It's just the worst. Because you don't know if he's going to get a ton of violent procs or if he's super tanky. But, oh, sweet. Okay, so she didn't do anything. So we don't have to worry about resistance and accuracy. What's up, Asp? Alright, so he's semi-tanky. Alright, so what we need to do now is get rid of Chloe. Right? Oh, come on. Alright, we're going to do this. Boom. We're going to knock her down with the attack bar. Then we're going to do this AoE skill. Boom, get rid of her. And now we have to get rid of this Monkey King, right? Oh, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. God, he's going to stun my entire team. Oh, she's going to do her healing too. God, that's so annoying. It's just the worst. I need to get a heal or a attack buff off right here. Don't. Glancing. Hell yeah. Boom. Get out of here, Monkey King. Oh my god, Jasun is so annoying on Violent Runes. It's just the worst. And it's a good thing we have the crit buff, because it's really annoying without it. The glancing hit is just absolutely... I hate it. Alright, so we used our wings up. Alright. So, ignore our arena ranking. We're going to talk about the different teams. So, one of the things that I think a lot of people tend to start mixing up is they look at fighter to like conk range and they try to copy a bunch of guardian teams. So when you see my arena offense and you guys are like oh okay, I want to build that, you're not going to be able to. Like if you were up in Conqueror 3 Guardian 1, you would. I mean, you have the runes capable of doing it, but you just don't. You don't have it right now, okay? That's one thing. That's the first thing that you guys need to like keep in mind. So just keeping that in mind. What we need to do is start making team compositions, right? So when you're down in the fighter to conquer range, it's really dependent on, I feel like, your defense. The offense, if you're going to be bruising, everyone's bruising from fighter to conquer. A lot of people do like weird teams, so like a lot of people will, let's say, I don't have any wings, but I can refresh too. A lot of people will bring teams like, let's say, I'll just throw it into my defense so I can display it. So like, let's say I'm building an offense. A lot of people will bring in something like Bernard, right? Or like Theomars. But then they bring in like Chasun, and then they bring in like Chloe. This right here is a bruiser type offense, right? You're bringing in healers. Anything that's going to be bringing in healers for the healing purposes. You're bringing in a slow roller. That means you're basically bringing in an offense that's going to take you more than a couple minutes, and you're trying to guarantee the win no matter what, because you don't have the runes necessary to, I guess, really bring a scary AO, you know? Like if you start to come into Guardian, it's going to be something like, you know, maybe something more along the lines of like this kind of thing, like these three. Or if we're talking specifically farmable units, it's going to be these two, maybe Bernard, right? And then maybe like a speed leader like this. I mean, this is a farmable team. You could like stuff like that, right? So speaking specifically on team building, I think the first thing you guys need to start thinking about is not what kind of wombo team am I going to make, what type of bomb team am I going to make. It's more about like, I need a defense that's going to get me some wins, because I'm going to be slow rolling on my offenses. I need to use all of my wings, and then I'll be able to, you know, do that kind of stuff. So here, let me put my defense back. Sorry, it's just all gimmicky now. Where are you? Oh wait, I don't want it in that order. Alright, so I'll show you one thing really quick. And this is just because it's a good example. I want to show you these guys, this guy's runes, right? So looking at these runes, he is building a wombo team. And he is in the Conqueror 1 range. So when you're looking at like Conqueror 1, this is just a good example, right? Because he's in that area. It's hard for me to talk about it if I'm not using an account around that area. He has 1100 attack power, 89 crit rate. The 89 crit rate is That's nice, okay? And then he's got 0 speed. He's got very little HP, no speed, decent attack, decent crit rate, good crit rate, but very low crit damage. So I can't look at his runes, but then you look at his Tosi, and it's really high crit damage, really nice crit, but low speed again and low attack power, right? So in this kind of sense, it's kind of harder to build the team when you're not ready for the runes. Like if you don't have the runes, I mean, you're not going to really be able to pull off a wombo. A wombo is mainly for when you're transitioning from Conqueror over to Guardian. That's when you're transitioning. So for this guy, even if he slow rolled all of his attacks, it would be fine because it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to rush hour. If he needs to rush hour for Conqueror 1, it means his defense is not doing its job. Conqueror, there's just too many people pulling you on their list. There's thousands of people that are going to be attacking you. So the main importance is having a defense that can win. When people are bringing healers, you can't put something like I did Vanessa, Praha, Chloe, and Verad. There's no damage there. It's like supposed to just slowly kill him over time. And I put that as a troll defense because Verad is just going to absolutely freeze lock them. But if you do that to someone down in the Conquer range, they're just going to bring Chasun, and maybe she doesn't get healed or frozen for one turn. She just heals the entire team. It's not going to work. So that's why you need to start thinking about more threatening defenses. So the way I like to picture it is I don't have a visual representation here, but let's say you have, or I can actually pull up. Let's pull up Summoner's War, and I'll show you the ranking system. Aspire, you jerk. Okay, so we pull up the weekly rewards, right? So anywhere from beginner to fighter 3, it's going to be completely dependent on the defense. The offense is kind of irrelevant. I mean, most people in this range are probably going to have around a 70 to 80% win rate. And that's kind of bad. That's bad, especially when you are bringing slow roller, right? It's not good. What you need to do is start getting your AO up, start bringing in the slow roller, win your AOs, 90% rate, which should be easy when you have Chasun or if you have Bella and stuff like that. And then when you start getting into Conquer 1 to Conquer 3, that's when you start bringing more, I guess, risky YOLO arena offenses. So you'd want to bring in something like Bernard, you want to bring in Perna if you had it, or Sigmaris, you could bring it, you could bring in Theomars, you could start working towards your bomb team if you have Sierra, you could start working towards your Wombo team if you have Galleon. If you have double Lucians, you could start making Lucian teams, just depending on what kind of monsters you got, right? So if you're in the Fighter 1 to Fighter 3 range, it's all about team building. And if we're talking completely about monsters that you probably have, one of the most essential units for that is Veramos, right? So my Veramos is not built in the same way that most people build him. Most people build him violent. And when you guys are in the fighter-ish area, right now I think I'm Challenger 3 on my Farmer Phil. I think I could probably hit Fighter 1 if I got some better units and got Veramos. It's so easy to get Fighter 1 to Fighter 2 that it's you could pretty much throw anything on there. You just need some decent runes. So when you build something like Veramos, you want probably around a high speed, right? You could probably do Veramos, and then you could probably put in Bella Dion. One of the most easy combinations is Vero Bella. Another really good unit that a lot of people use in Fighter to Conquer range is actually Chloe. A lot of people use Chloe. So many people use Chloe. And I guess a lot of people have trouble with Chloe. My Chloe is kind of poorly runed. I don't have her slot 2 maxed out, so she's low on speed. And when you start thinking about defenses too, you're going to want to start throwing on Nat 5s, because everyone looks at these Nat 5s, they're like, wow, they're so scary. And then they start skipping on them, right? Stuff like that. So Wombo combo, we're strictly speaking about defense, right? But I'll go ahead and attack Aspire. Aspire, you better not switch defenses on me. and we'll talk about wombo combo. So this right here is a wombo combo. Okay, so basically what this means is I have Galleon paired with AoE attackers. And so he puts on attack buff on my units, which increases the attack power, and then you put on defense break on the enemy. So you're doing maximum amount of damage that you could possibly do with AoE skills, and your goal is to basically wipe out the entire enemy team in one go. So that means one turn per monster, and then just wipe out the team. So let's go ahead and see if we can do that. Molly adds some RNG into the fight, and then Rena might take us a couple turns to clear, and this is why Renas are so annoying in Guardian. So basically you throw on defense break, right? We got resisted on Chasoon, so that's going to take us an extra couple turns. I have 100% accuracy on Galleon, it just happens. And then you throw on some AoEs, right? Molly's starting to add in her RNG, so we got glancing hit on everyone except for, well, we didn't crit on Rena, we got glancing on the Fire Monkey King, but that's alright. So you just start throwing in AoEs like that. God, Molly is just really adding in RNG, but boom. So you see that, one unit left, and now all you got to do is just finish it up. So that took us about 2 turns. So in total, this would have probably taken us around 20 to 30 seconds. So if you start thinking about that kind of AO, that kind of goal that you want to start reaching for as you get better runes, it's going to allow you to clear defenses faster. Just boom, 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 just pumping out attacks. And that's what Rush Hour is. Rush Hour is basically non-stop attacking, pumping out as many attacks as you can to try to get the highest score that you can possibly get. And it's possible now because of units like Sierra or Galleon or Tiana, and that's why speed clearing is now a thing. It used to be bruising, it used to be slow rolling all of your attacks, like, you know, bringing in healers and bringing in heavy HP units that would do damage over time and stuff like that. But it's no longer the case because now you can just absolutely obliterate defenses in such an easy manner. So what do I think of Bernard, Megan, Verad, Lucian now with the Verad buff? I wouldn't, because at the same time, you're bringing in Lucian, but you got no defense break for Verad. It depends. You got to find out what works for you, and if it works for you, then use it, right? I mean, my attacks work for me. My AO works for me, so that's why I use it. It's not the best AO. It's not the fastest AO, but it works, right? So when you guys are down in lower ranks, you don't have to worry so much as for a fast AO. You don't really need to. If anyone, really quickly, I'm going to be in 7145. I just typed in a random channel. Someone comment really quick that's in like the fighter to conqueror range. I'll look at your monsters, and I just want to make an example. It's kind of hard for me to do it because like I have units that not a lot of people have, and I've got runes and stuff like that. So it's easier for me to look at a person and then just point out like, okay, these types of combinations could work. So don't think of it as like a monster, like looking at someone's monster box to help this person. It's more of like I need an example to show all of you guys. But yeah, I mean, even with Lucians, a lot of people have Lucians, and if you don't have the proper setup for Lucians, it's not gonna work. So like, for example, here I'll just do I have wings? I do. So I can do this really quick. Alright, watch. So, ooh, okay, sorry. I wanna show you an attack really quick. So what you can do, ooh, scroll. No. So what you can do, let me get my wings really quick, is you can actually bring in a single Lucian. I went over how to use Lucians, and you can in fact bring single Lucian team, but it's a little bit less effective unless you have super runes. Like, let's say if I were to attack Barian and I were to bring some type of super Lucian team, it would have to be like Bernard. I would have to have some other like speed leader like Faye. Faye would be perfect. You could bring Shimate, but then I would need Lucian and Sayic, right? So I'd put in Sayic and then Lucian, right? So it'd be like this type of team. Or if you add, let's pretend this Joltan is Leo, right? The Fire Death Knight. Let's pretend he's Leo. You could bring in something like that. So Leo will hit one of these units. Bernard will buff. Sayic buffs, and then this slow Lucian. So I'll show you an example here. This slow Lucian will get a turn. Now I did a video on this Lucian because it was a good example. And watch. Right here. No. Different. This one. This looks like a scary Lucian, right? It's on Rage Blade. He's got 3,000 attack. 70 crit rate, which goes to 100% when you crit the buff or buff the crit, and it has 250 crit damage, roughly, but no speed. So I made a video on this Lucian, and everyone's like, "That Lucian is pointless. It's slow. You can't do anything with it." I'm like, "Oh my god, do you really not understand how to use Lucians?" So I made a video on how to use Lucians. Look at Leo. Boom. Right? Leo goes. He gets the first turn no matter what. He reduces the attack bar for people with Leo, and you reduce the attack bar by 10%. His Bernard is really fast at 303 speed. Just boom, buff the speed. And then his Lucian will go, if you bring an attack bar buff, if you bring an attack bar buff to a Leo type team, if Leo is on the and on any team, it could be the enemy team, it could be your team. If Leo is on the field and you boost your attack bar, your entire team will go, no matter what. Because everyone is like at the exact same attack gauge, right? So then you boost the attack bar, boom, everyone goes. So that's why this Lucian at 129 speed can go right after a Bernard with 300 speed, right? That's why it's so effective. And he does 14k per card. Holy shit. Jesus, guys. I'm going to just pick at random, right? So Fighter 2, right? Alright, so Fighter 2 range, you notice this guy has quite a bit of options. So this guy should not even be Fighter 2. I don't know if he's not trying, I don't know if he hasn't been farming runes, but just to show you an example, right? He has Camilla with decent runes, right? Camilla is very great on defense. He's got Theomars. I definitely switch out to get, you know, a full rune set, like Revenge or something. But you see here that he has some units that you could put on, like Chloe. You've got the Camilla. If you guys have Camilla, she's terrifying. Vanessa, a lot of people hate on Vanessa, but Vanessa is an S tier AD unit. The leader skill is fantastic. He's got tanky units like Chisun, which should be on around 180 or higher speed. He's got like tanky units like Eladriel, Veramos, stuff like that. And you know what? When you start taking your summons and making use of them, like if he were to make like Vanessa, Camilla, and then bring in something like Chisun and sustain, especially since his Chisun or his Camilla is actually pretty well runed, just a little bit low on the HP side, it'd be pretty easy to kill. But no one usually goes for Camilla on, you know, in the, like the fighter range. Then he could easily hit Conqueror. He'd probably use no attacks and still be Conqueror, right? Leader skill, boom, Camilla, Chloe, Chisun, and then he could bring someone else. Or he could do like Vanessa, Chloe, Chisun, and then Theomars or something like that. Like, or Camilla, too. So it's when you come to about the, when you start looking more about, how I should say, when you start going into like the fighter conquer range, you need to start thinking, I need a sustainable but damage comp. If you have the runes and you're already Conqueror 1 or Fighter 3, but you have the runes, like this guy, you could go full YOLO because people bring healers. So if you start out damaging them, like if you really start out damaging them, you can really just put a big like right into their offense. So I'll go ahead and use an attack, and I'll try to find a defense that you would normally see in something like Conqueror. See, like you see how this person is pairing sustainability with damage. This is exactly what happens. This is I don't know if they would call this a mid-range comp. Okay, come on. Sorry. Aspire, if you see any spam, just block it. It's just so annoying. Just block all the spam. Just block the persons. No second chances for people that are spamming. Like they come in here and spam their website or something like that. Like, they're not even here to watch the stream. So you look at this guy, and I know you guys don't have nat 5s. Just take the example. Don't look at the monster, but look at the specific units, right? Or don't look at the specific units, but look at like their roles. And oh my god, he has a sustainable comp: 2 revivers, damage, and then immunity to just kind of be more annoying, right? Yeah, as a walking leader, yeah, pretty much. I think her leader skill just goes unmatched. And the fact that you can bring a very fast team with her and then heal and stuff like that, you can really, really do some damage with her. But let's look at some other ones, right? So you see this guy, I think he's trying to go more YOLO. I don't know what he's trying to do with this. He's doing something with like what I was trying to do, I guess. It's just completely stopping the enemy from moving. But he has no damage here. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you. We'll see if he has damage, right? If I were to bring some type of composition that I would use in like Conqueror, right? Like I could bring in Bella or something. I like Camilla. Camilla is actually an S tier unit as well. So watch. I just want to show you, okay? This is something you should never use, but when in Guardian, okay? But like let's say they do this, right? Now where's the damage? This is pretend we're in fighter to conquer range, right? There's no damage. So now we can, sustain. Maybe one unit gets resisted. We have sustain now. And we could probably auto it, to be honest. I mean, might as well try, right? We just auto this and we'll just start. We'll just watch. This is what I mean by when I say you guys need like damage when you're in fighter to conquer range. Because if you don't bring damage, what are you going to do? You're going to be, maybe you're forced to draw, but you're not getting any points from that. And you have thousands and thousands and thousands of people targeting you. And then people love to pick defenses that are easy to clear because they will slow roll it. So this is what I mean. This is something you would typically see in conquer range or fighter range. People are slow rolling the defenses. My Poseidon is 172 speed. He goes right after Galleon, and he's supposed to go right before Amir and all of my other AoEs, so he can reduce the attack bar. We'll go over Wombo in a bit. We're starting from the bottom, and we're moving our way up. Started from the bottom, and now we here, right? So, yeah, Kumar is a freaking beast. He is. So, but you guys kind of get the gist of it, like. These are the types of offenses that people are bringing in fighter to conquer range, right? So when you put on a defense like this that has no threat, people are going to slow roll you. But like this is something that if a person were to have this type of team, regardless of runes, in fighter range, if they just put on some half decent runes, maybe fighter 3 level runes, he would be able to push up pretty far. Because people are too scared to hit this. It's YOLO. They can't sustain. Because Zyros will reset them. Tiana will do, or Trinity will do a ton of. I won't even hit this. It's scary for me. So, like these types of defenses would be perfect in fighter to conquer range. This would probably boost you up into conquer range, right? Even if you had like fighter level runes, because people are too scared to hit you, and then you'll get wins, right? So when you're that low. Wins are really essential. Good. Okay, so Sierra is a completely different offense. So I can't show you it because I don't have Sierra. If I had a bomb team, I would. I can show you like Scat's bomb team, or maybe I could show you Aldridge's bomb team. But it's a completely different approach, and honestly, you need something to buff removal. You need Galleon, maybe you need a bomber. You can't do Sierra on your own. Maybe for like something like Guild Wars, but not something like Arena. You need something that complements Sierra. Sierra is a very good monster, but you need to follow up. But oh yeah, see, okay, so this is another example above. So Sekhmet, a lot of people underestimate Sekhmet as well. People are like, Fire Desert Queen needs a buff. She's one of the top units, top defensive units, right? It's crazy. If you have Kumar and you have Sekhmet, you should be Conqueror no matter what. You could probably hit Conquer 2, Conquer 3 with that, right? So you got this nice leader skill of 33% HP. You've got Kumar for damage. Sekhmet brings in AoE defense break, right? Defense break disturbs the HP recovery, and then of course puts on glancing hit. She can do this. She resets all the skills, and she steals them too. So if they bring Chloe, it doesn't matter. Like they bring Chloe Chasun, doesn't matter. She's gonna steal the immunity. She's gonna steal the invincibility, and then she's gonna reset all of the skills of Chasun. So boom, bye bye healing. You see what I mean? And then another reason why she's so good is because people use Tiana, people use Aquila, people use Triton, and those are all wind buff removals. You pair Sekhmet with immunity, and they reset their buff removal. They're so screwed. They're so screwed. They can't do anything. They're stuck until they can get that skill off. And maybe she'll start doing this skill right here. She's on a very fast despair set. She stuns them all. She puts on glancing hit. She puts on defense break. You're dead. You're dead, man. And that's why she's so scary. You make her fast, and she is terrifying. That's why a lot of people tend to bring in like a very fast Tiana, or maybe they bring in if they have immunity, right? If they don't have immunity, it's not as big of a deal. But doubles of Jameer Sigmar's. Oh wow, I'm sorry, man. But I mean, what I'm trying to basically say is you really want a good arena defense. I would say for fighter to conquer range, a good AO would be a good AD because you're bringing in healers. You're gonna bring in healers. You just don't have the rune sets required to bring in a YOLO defense, right? And I wanted to go over it today too because it's free rune removal. So you could start prioritizing the units that you know you need to prioritize now. So I'll go ahead and pick another example, right? Let's look for Conquer, right? Okay, boom, Conquer. Conquer 1. So this guy, yeah, see this guy doesn't have as many options as that previous guy, but he's still Conquer 1. So if you guys participate in Arena, if you guys actually actively use your swords as much as possible, then yeah, I mean, you will get high ranks. There's people that just don't do it. They just don't do Arena, and they're like, why can't I finish Conquer? Maybe you only use like 40 swords or 40 wings in an entire week. I use hundreds, maybe like 300-400 in 1 week. I mean, you gotta actively be using your wings. So some examples on his defense, and you gotta utilize the things you summoned. This is not some type of, yeah guys, let's all make free-to-play farmable ADs. I mean, it doesn't work that way. You use the things that you got. So this guy could utilize Perna, he could utilize Vanessa, he could utilize Briand. He doesn't have Chasun, which is unfortunate. She's a great healer. But even then, he doesn't need to. I mean, he could really pair something up nasty with Perna and Vanessa. And if he were to do something with like Bella Dion, or maybe bring in some other type of healer if he had a healer, then he could really make use of that. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of annoying to just keep bringing up Nat5s, but you got to use what you got. So, and you also have to be wary of what you're using. They've got to be somewhat tanky, right? If they're not tanky, they're not going to survive. If you're going to make a YOLO one, you got to commit to full YOLO. So if he were to go full YOLO, I would probably do something like Vanessa Perna, bring in Bella Dion, and then some other type of attacker. Like maybe if he had Theomars, I'd put in Theomars. So if you're in Fighter 3 and you're just starting to break into Conqueror 1, or you want to start breaking into Conqueror 1, that's one of the toughies because a lot of people have trouble. I mean, Fighter 3 is such a big range of people. Popping into the top 10,000, you're pushing someone out, right? So in that sense, you would need to focus on your AO, right? If you have your AD set, you need to like have some type of decent AO where you can clear it with probably around 80% success rate. One thing that a lot of people here, I can just show it in the So we'll do it. We'll show it against this guy, right? Because it won't work against Guardians. Another thing, if you have Katarina, a lot of people tend to use like Katarina Chloe combo. You could probably do something like with like, let's say this. Oh, where is it? Where's Saik? You could use that combo because Saik brings nuke capabilities. You could even use Aquila. I mean, that works too, but you could use Jemire, Chloe, Aquila, or Saik, and then Katarina. You know, make the attack order. Attack order is super important. So you do Chloe buff, then you buff the attack power and crit rate. Katarina goes and throws off her ignoring defense. Jemire resets, and then you just do that over again. Right? That would be a good option for that. For people that have Jemire. If you don't have Jemire, you can actually just use this. You could, if you have Theomars, you could probably use something like this as well. Another thing that people use, believe it or not, is something like this, which is really weird. I don't know why. I don't know how people can do it like this. Some people can pull it off. I can't pull it off. It's just, it's so funky, right? Or you could do, some people do like this. So if you have double Lucians, you could use Chloe instead of making speed Lucians. You can make like 2 really powerhouse Lucians with like 70% crit rate. Maybe on like Fatal Blade. You don't even need Will Runes. And then on a non-fast team, boom, throw on Chloe immunity and shield and double Lucian back to back. Because another thing, a lot of people don't. So actually, I can just show you really quick. Another thing that people don't do is they don't farm Necro at a lower rank. So they don't farm Necro at a lower rank, so they're not going to have Nemesis runes. So I have a very fast Lucian. It's just kind of how it goes. My first one is. But like you see, my Lucians now, they're protected if you have double Lucians, if this is like options for you, right? And then you could just double Lucian like this. You don't have to have Chloe, or I mean, you don't have to have Bernard, right? For a double Lucian team, you don't have to make them super fast for lower ranked arena. So that's another option. Alright, so now we talked about AD. What we said about AD is that you need something threatening. You need something that's going to be able to really, I guess, put on damage to the enemy so that you can constantly be getting wins, because wins are actually really important. And then another thing, stepping into the offenses, is if you're in like fighter to conquer range, remember what we said about having a consistent offense. Let's take a look at my success rate. Okay? So we look at this success rate, and we notice an over 90% success rate for this week currently. But on the last week, I had an 88.7% success rate. Now, if we subtract by 10%, and we say I had a 78% success rate last week, that would probably get me around, with fighter to conquer level range, I would not get conquer. Unless I didn't get attacked as much, right? You need to have a consistent AO. The more you lose, the less, likely that you're going to be using your attacks, because you're going to feel probably like, down and like, oh, why am I losing so many? But you got to look past that, and you got to start like, oh, I need to use every single one of my wings. I need to use every single one of these. I'm going to make it my goal to clear the list. So you notice I don't really clear my list often. You should always try to clear your list. It's good practice, and I feel like it helps you start countering different types of teams. Okay? So now we're going to start moving up into the higher range, right? So this guy right here, Kevin, says he has a good AO that clears almost all Conqueror 2 to Guardian 1 defenses, but he can't seem to break into Conqueror 3. He uses Vanessa / Juno, Theo, Chloe, Chandra. So what I would say about that is, while that is not a bad defense, it's actually not a bad defense at all. It's just strange with this type of meta when you have a defense that's not stall in the last hour. You're going to get hit out most of the times. You're going to get hit out of Guardian 1 to Conqueror 3 range. And there's this big gap. So like there's Guardian 3, which is like super stall with like some threat. And then you get to like Guardian 1 range, and it's all stall. It's just complete stall, and it's just big clusterfuck. And then you get down into Conquer 3, it's like half stall, people try and outstall. and then you get into Conqueror 1, Conqueror 2, down to like Fighter, and it's a bunch of like jumbled random defenses. So there's this big giant chunk of stall stuck right in Guardian, and it's like no threat, just complete stall, just a big roadblock right on Guardian. So it kind of leaks down into Conqueror 3 too, I feel like, and that's just how the stall meta works. You know, people are trying to get into Guardian. I wouldn't suggest building Arena if you have some type of mid-range comp that you could work. I could probably even link that guide for defenses, but that's mainly for more end-game defenses. So, but, and also another thing, when you guys are trying to improve your Arena, Violent Runes, they go a long way. I mean, think of how many times people are complaining about Violent Runes. I mean, they complain for a reason, because Violent Runes can get you a win on your defense. So Chloe on Swift, right? You want her as fast as possible, but stuff like Theomars, Chasun, Belladon, Veramos, you want them all on Violent. You know, you could get some stuns in, you could get some defense breaks in, more damage, that kind of thing. So if you want to break into higher Conqueror ranges, one of the things that I remember at that range. Yeah, Tenzan, I used 400 attacks last week. 414. The highest amount of attacks I've used was like 600 in a week, but I was refilling a lot. I wanted a lot of glory points, and another thing too, glory points. I'll go back to what I was talking about before. So I want to upgrade my buildings. Okay, so I'll go back to what I was talking about before, but one really quick thing. You need to max out your buildings, right? I maxed out my wind and my water because that's the type of AoEs that I use. I'm maxing out my HP and attack to get more damage, and of course to get more sustain. And then of course I already maxed out my speed, I already maxed out my crit damage, that kind of thing. Those things go a long way. I'd say crit damage is one of the most important. Definitely attack and HP are really important. Speed is super important, and then you want to start doing some of these elemental ones, right? You also want to make sure that your Mysterious Plant and your Sanctum of Energy are already maxed out. Those things should be the first things that you max out. You should not be buying scrolls. Scrolls with glory points is such a waste. Such a waste. You should be maxing out these two first, and then start working on your other ones. But yeah, so I also have Tiana, but I'm not sure how to put her into Arena. What could I team her up with? Tiana's another. She's another unit that complements, right? You can't just run her and then be like, I'm going to get Guardian because I've got Tiana now. You have to run her with a team that is supposed to do something. Like, you don't run Tiana with Lucians because it doesn't matter if they have immunity on. You ignore defense. You bring Tiana because you need to land something. You need to land bombs, you need to land defense break, whatever, okay? You need to land something. So you want to remove any possible will runes, possible immunity, shield runes, anything that's going to reduce your damage or completely nullify it, right? So when you bring in Tiana, let's pretend my Aquila is Tiana, right? Well, we'll go over here. So we'll just pull up a random guy. So boom, Chloe, right? He has Chloe. So let's pretend I'm using Tiana. Something like this, right? This would work. Because pretend Aquila is Tiana. I don't have Tiana. So I have Tiana go. Boosts my attack bar. She removes the shield from Chloe. If she uses it, maybe I outspeed her. But any will runes will be nullified too. And then I'm able to deal defense break. I'm able to do... This is like a wombo comp, right? So Tiana would help you do that. And honestly, Tiana's really... She makes a big difference from like the higher Conquer range to like low Guardian, but when you start getting into like Guardian 2, Guardian 3, she actually doesn't make as much of a difference on wombo teams as you would think. Bomb teams is a different story because you do not want to get resisted on bomb teams, but something like Triton is actually equally as good as like Tiana in terms of wombo teams, I feel like, because he reduces the attack bar as well, so it's less likely for them to Nemesis heal, which is a big deal when you're doing wombo. You can't have the Nemesis heal. Bombs completely ignore the Nemesis. It's so awesome. But yeah, so Tiana would be something usable in some like this type of composition, right? But any buff removal works. Tiana is just guaranteed. You don't need any accuracy, which is nice about her, and she increases your attack bar. So if you, let's say you have one unit at 185 speed and another unit at 190 speed, and there's a 5 speed gap, you could get interrupted, or you're more likely to get interrupted by a Nemesis healer. But Tiana boosts all of the attack bar to the max amount. Well, if you're within her 30%, because she buffs the attack bar by 30%. If you're within that range, you're going to get full attack bar on your units, and then that way you can go back to back, and you don't have to speed tune them as much, which is also another nice thing about her. But yeah, so if we're talking about higher Conqueror range is a completely different story, right? Higher Conqueror range, you probably need you would probably need to start going more towards a sustainable comp, or like a sustainable defense. And that is a completely different field, right? So I'll just use one of my guildmates, for example, right? We'll go to, let's see, like, I mean, my entire guild can go into, we'll go to Cletus, because he never uses his arena wings. He can get it Guardian, no problem. But he never uses his wings, so he's in Fighter 3 right now. So if we're specifically talking about Cletus, and he wanted to make some type of defense to, I guess, sustain him, he'd want to use stuff like Sekhmet pushing up into higher Conk. You'd want to start making Guardian level defenses if you want to start pushing up into Conqueror 3. So like using stuff like Sekhmet. Actually, instead of this, I'll just go through every monster that would be potentially good on a defense, right? So this way you guys know which Nat 5s, because Nat 5s are important. I don't know anyone that has a non-Nat 5 defense in Guardian or even Conqueror 3. So let's look. Vanessa, great on defense. Zyros can be really great on defense. Perna can be great on defense. Juno, if you know how to use her, very great on defense. I would say Fire Monkey King and Laika, not so great on defense, just when you're going into like higher arena. Veladril, great on defense. Kumar's great on defense. Chiwu is good on a YOLO defense. Brandia, not so good. Sekhmet, very great on defense. And I'd say that's just about it. Some people have made the Fire Panda work, but I feel like it's more troll defenses, right? Then you got stuff like Camilla, very great on defense. People make Verad work sometimes if you have some type of fire unit to counter the Lucians. People make Praha very well in arena. Annabelle can work if you have a well-run one. It's very risky. I wouldn't do it. But Chow can actually be on defense. Ariel, you have Chandra, very great on defense. People actually work with Wusa. He's actually really great on defense if you can make him fast. He's like an alternative to Chloe because it's 3-turn immunity instead, which is nice. Theomars is actually a very, very, very overused unit, and a lot of people know how to counter him, but you can use him if you use him well. I would not put him on a team unless it's like a very fast, speedy team. I feel like you need to have him speed. Otherwise, it's just going to get nuked in like the first turn. And then Samuth. You got Samuth or Pismate or whatever that you want to pronounce it. He is absolutely fantastic on defense, especially on YOLO defenses. Then you got Chisun is a great one. She's not Nat 5, but obviously she's good on defense. You've got, I would not use Jemira on defense. He's just a free slot, I feel like. But you've got Sierra. She can be used on YOLO defenses. You've got Leo, which I feel like if you use Leo, you have to use him with something like full HP build. And it's just really awkward. I don't know. I don't like Leo on defenses. It caps your own speed, and that just kind of ruins things, I feel like. Wind Monkey King is fantastic on defense. Eladriel, I feel like, is alright. He's an okay option unless you have a really well-runed Eladriel, or you can pair him up with some other type of unit, like Wind unit, to really benefit from his HP leader skill. You got Ritesh. And that's about it. That's about it for the Wind units on defense. And then, of course, you got Light and Dark, and that's a completely different story. Yeah, Camilla's great on... She's very, very great in defense. She's actually really scary. Yeah, exactly. Zyros on arena defense would need to be paired with a speedy team, right? A YOLO team. or some type of sustainable comp. Like you can make him tankier and make him on a sustained comp, and then just reset the enemy. But you would need buff removal then, because then people can wombo. How do you make a defense with no tanky attackers? I always get squishy attackers. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. That was my problem, right? I don't have any tanky attack. I mean, take a look at my monster box and try to point out a single one, a tanky attacker with a decent damage. Go ahead. Like, try to find one. Not a single one. Not a single bruiser that's decent, right? But somehow I still managed to hit Guardian 2. It's not the most important thing. I feel like the most important thing is pairing things that what you got in a synergized way. Like here I've got Praha and I've got Poseidon to go pretty much back to back. 181 speed is pretty low, but when you pair it with something like Vanessa Leader Skill and Praha, it's gonna freeze the team if they don't bring speed, right? So you gotta have some kind of trick to your defense that's gonna get you wins. So that's the whole deal with it. Nah, I mean, I get so many questions every week on like, oh, can you look at my account? I don't like looking at people's accounts unless I need to use it for. I don't like to use it unless they no, I don't even like to use it. Just like I like to use it for like examples, and that's about it. Because if you help an individual, you can give him a fish and feed him for a day, or you can teach him how to fish and feed him for a lifetime. Words to live by. Because I'd rather give advice based on, like, I guess general advice that they can apply and then learn from it, rather than be like, oh, this is exactly what you can do, and boom. That's why you'll see my guides aren't like, oh, use this type of monster, and then boom, you'll clear it. No, it's like, this is the type of role you want, this is the type of units that can fulfill that role, but overall, this is the type of role, right? So you could throw in different units. But yeah. Leo Chow, Attack Bar Booster Stripper. I would not use Leo on that. I wouldn't. Because even then, I feel like he just... Leo doesn't guarantee that you're going to go first. He goes first, but maybe they can still outspeed you. If they have a speed leader and then Bernard, and they're faster than you, they're going to go first. In that case, you're dead, right? Alicia, Verad, Ritesh, Bernard. But see, and then in that case, that's really easy to wombo. Right? So, I'll go ahead and show you... I'll go ahead... Oh, Ramagos, yeah, Tenzan Ramagos. Yeah. He works. Right? Somewhat, right? Some people can make it work. God, it's so hot in my room. It's like so... it's so like... I don't know, I forgot the word for it. But, yeah. So, let's go ahead and do a couple attacks now, and then I'll break down exactly what's going on. So, for people that want to start getting better better attacks, right? This is the type of thing you'll look at, right? There's some defenses that I can... Like, look at this. This guy is a very, very, very well-run team. He's got Speed Leader. He's got Verad for CC, which is annoying as hell, especially because he can actually do damage based on defense now. He's got Praha for Nemesis healing and for buff removal, and then he's got a Bruiser type. So you can't bring wind units, otherwise he's going to solo you. Or you're going to have to risk it. So, let's do some revenges. I could probably do this. Let's try it. Yeah, let's try it. A yellow team? YOLO. Like YOLO, you only live once. It means like you just go balls out and you don't care about healers. You don't bring any healers. Like Braha here, I bring her because she's water and she's less likely to die by Kumar, and she's just a bit faster. So I can get this off, right? That's why I bring her. I don't bring her for the heal. I mean, it's convenient, but it's like, it's not necessary. So this is Wombo. This team right here is Wombo. And then I'll go after this, I'll go over... Okay, he has a very squishy Very squishy Veligil, which means that he is damage based. Oh, why did I do that? I don't know why I did that. Ew. Oh, come on. Oh no! I think they got too many violent procs. I think we might die, because they got too many violent procs. No, I'm not using my Fairy King, because he's bad. The Wind Fairy King's not that good. Vanessa, Poseidon, Bernard, Galleon. I mean, for AO, yeah. Maybe. But even then, I don't know. Because you only have one AoE. You typically want two. Alright, so let's see if I can pull this off. They got too many. They got way too many violent procs. Like, look at this. Look at that. Look at them. Look at them go. Oh my gosh, and they're resisting too. Let's see if I can get him to heal so that he doesn't attack me. Don't attack me. Don't attack me. No, dang it. Oh gosh. So, yeah, Violent Runes. This is exactly what I'm talking about though. Like, Violent Runes, you see what I mean? If you just put on a ton of Violent Runes on a sustainable comp, like this, it can really go a long ways. So this guy has double revive, and you probably think like, oh, he doesn't have really any damage, but look how much damage it's dealing, right? I could bring another team to try to, like, I guess, do something with more bruisering, but that's just absolutely, don't do that. Bad practice. Don't die. Oof. Let's hope they heal. Yes. No! Really? We could have won this. Wow. So now we can't win this. We absolutely can't win this. He violent procced, and then he killed Poseidon. We could have healed there and then done it, but we lost. So we're going to refresh. Oh, we can't attack him either. So this is another example of a speed comp. Yeah, it does feel like that, right? It feels like Violent Runes are just absolutely way higher on defenses. It's absolutely ridiculous. DB10. Well, I mean, if you want him on AD, you have to protect against Lucians, right? If you have if you have another team, like let's say like Kumar, then you can make it defense based. But if you bring, you know, mainly water units or something like that, and then Veligil, you're gonna have to bring HP onto your Veligil. Otherwise, you're just gonna get screwed. God, the Violent Runes are just unreal. Like, Jesus, stop it. Am I gonna lose this one too? I mean, this isn't even that great of a defense either. It's really not. This is a really common defense. It's a basic troll defense, but he got enough violent procs to look at that, and then revenge. Boom, boom, boom. Like, oh my God, stop it. Oh God, no, stop. Violent procking. Stop. All right, we can still pull this off if we can one-shot that, or if we can land our slowness, right? Boom. Oh yeah, we pulled this off. But Jesus, the violent procs are unreal today. Boom. And then, boom. Yeah. See, violent procs, even on Theomars, on fucking Violent Runes, it really screwed you up. And that's why you'll get defense wins if you put on a Violent Theomars. Like, if I were to throw in a Violent Theomars on a speedy team, I might not have the greatest win rate, but I'll still get wins because I'm probably going to get violent procs. I'm probably going to screw someone over with Violent Runes, right? If you don't have a Chisoon, Sue, I would go more YOLO. I'm not even using Chisoon, but I have Praha, right? So if I couldn't use Praha, I couldn't use Chisoon, I would probably use... I don't know what I would use, honestly. Chisoon is one of those units, like, you almost have to go for. I would go more YOLO if I were you then. But you have to, you really, really have to, what? Yeah, no, you really have to bring in some type of healer. If for most stages of the game, you're going to need Chisoon at one point or another. Colleen kind of fills in the role of Chasun, just not as much as you would think. It's not the same. It's like the same. It's like second skill mixed in with a higher turn attack buff. It's 3 turn instead of 2, but it's not the same. She doesn't steal runes like Chasun does. She doesn't have as high multipliers. She doesn't have as much base stats. But yeah, so Theolide, Chloe, Miang, Katarina. You guys need to start stepping away from these Katarinas and Miang and stuff like that. You need to start stepping into units that you would really use, like Theo, Chloe. That works. That's good. But something like, you don't want to run Miang on defense, especially when you're trying to get, like, going into the Conqueror range when people are slow rolling you. Katarina can work on some type of teams just to kind of piss people off or kind of try to catch them off guard on a trap defense, but again, most people nowadays have buff removal. Really not that big of a deal. You could even just run Bella and just remove the immunity and invincibility on Katarina, and she's not gonna kill anyone then, right? So you could do something like Theo, Chloe, Bella Dion, and then some other type. You could probably do Brian, honestly, but I mean, it just depends, right? And then speed AD needs speed leader 100%. Only if you're not fast. Like mine needs a speed leader, right? Look at this. 278 speed. That's slow. For somewhere where I'm at, slow. It's not going to work, right? So, yeah, I would need a speed leader. Oh, and then last thing I'll go over. I know a lot of you guys probably want specific examples, but it's best to apply. It's better to apply these types of things. So let's say if I were to have Sierra. Let's pretend Faye is Sierra. Okay? Let's just pretend that she's Sierra. So a really good AO that I know a lot of people do. If you have Sierra Tiana, oh my god, you're set for life. Right? You could use it on this defense. You could use it against this defense. You could use it against probably not that one unless you have a faster Bernard or something. Yeah, like a lot of these defenses it would work against. Like for something against Chloe team, I don't have it, right? But let's say you brought in Sierra, pretend Faye is Sierra. You could run in something like bombs, right? You got bombs. I would need to bring in something for buff removal, like against immunity. Or if you have Tiana, right? Tiana would be even better. But I'd probably run something with like Aquila. Actually, I don't know. Actually, without Tiana, it's a little bit risky. They probably have will runes, a ton of will runes and stuff like that, right? It's just kind of how it goes. But the last one you would want would be some type of like increase the attack bar. So you could probably do something like this, right? It's a little bit more risky in guarding, but up in like Conquer range, this works. Guild Wars is up. Okay, will do. But like something like this would work. If you have Tiana, it basically mixes in the two. So let's say you have Tiana. Pretend Aquila here is Tiana, and this one right here is Sierra. Then you could throw in something like this. So it would be like Tiana goes, removes all immunity effects, removes all shield runes, blah, 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 increases the attack bar. Then you have Malaka go, boom, put on bombs. And then you have Galleon go, boom, put on defense break. And then you have Sierra lands her bomb, AoE, and then it does AoE damage around 10 to 20k. That's just the AoE damage. Bombs activate, and that's like another 20 to 30k damage. So total, you're doing like 40 to 50k damage. It stuns them from the bombs, and if you double bomb them, then it's like 60, 70k damage. I mean, I don't know. It's such a fast clearing team. This is actually, I think, bomb teams are the fastest AO in the game and the most consistent. I think that's what it is right now. So. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you would need something like that. You would need some other paired units with her, but Poseidon runes, sure. I mean, my Poseidon runes are different, right? If you don't have Tiana but have Sierra, yeah, just bring some other type of buff removal, right? This is, I mean, don't copy runes. Don't copy runes. I mean, come on, be original. You need to start deciding on yourself. Like, you need to be like, okay, what do I run? Where do I want to run this guy? If I want to run him Arena, I'm going to use him on some type of YOLO build. And then if I'm going to use him on Wombo, I need will runes. You know, like, if you copy people, if you copy their exact build, like, oh, I want to run this because this person's running it, you don't learn. You're not learning. You're not going to improve. Come on. But I can't. Yeah, I don't have a bomb AO. I mean, I just kind of gave you the general idea of it. Like, if I were to attack this guy with bombs, it would be a little bit more annoying because he has free up. But it would generally be something like, you know, like, or not Bernard. I'm sorry, not Bernard, but something more like, where is it? I don't have Megan out. I don't have Megan, but pretend I use Megan, okay? Pretend Rena is Megan. Just pretend. And then pretend Faye is also... Pretend she is Sierra. Right? No, I'll just pull her out because people are going to be like, oh, why are you putting Rena in a bomb comp? Like... So, let's say I had Megan. It would be something like... It would be something like this, right? And then you'd use some other unit. Maybe you need buff removal, so you bring Aquila. Maybe you don't need buff removal, so you bring second bombs. Like, right? Right? Right. Okay? So, I mean, that would work. More or less. You need shield runes. You need shield runes to protect yourself. You would need... I mean, you could honestly... Because he has Chloe, you'd need to remove something like this, right? But I can't attack this. I don't have Sierra. Wouldn't be the same. Megan is unruined. It's not gonna... No, it wouldn't work. But that's the general idea, right? So, if you guys... I would suggest that you start working on your arena defense more than your offense when it comes to Conqueror fighter range, and then start using a more bruiser type offense. That's the best way to get the best rate, right? The best defense rate and stuff like that. Don't ask about specific defenses. You need to start learning, okay? I gave you the general idea on what a defense needs. You need threat. If you have threat and you have sustainability, like the one you just listed, if you think it has sustainability and if you think it has decent threat, then yeah. If you're going into fighter and conquer range and if you go full YOLO, then commit to full YOLO and don't bring monsters like Veramos. But start thinking on, you know, start thinking on your own, because when you just ask, you know, oh, does this defense work? It's better to kind of get the general idea of it, right? So I'll use my Guild War swords, because we just used our first one. I don't know, why are we using it so early? Jesus. Alright, we'll attack higher up, right? Can't hit that. I don't have the units to counter that. Oh. What is he trying to do? Okay. Yeah, you don't... I mean, if you guys really want... If you guys really want a very overused, very, very overused defense, you could do something with, like, Veramos, Belladon, Bernard, Brilliant. I know a person that uses that and gets Conqueror 3, no problem. It's the most overused defense, probably because it works, right? This is gonna be... This guy is running some strange shit, right? I don't know what... He has, like, no damage on the second team. I don't know what he's trying to do. So, I think what I'm gonna do is just bring, like, full sustain. I don't know. What can I do? This? I could. Yeah. He has no heals. And then for this next one, we'll do YOLO. So, I think what I'll bring for this one is He's gonna go first, because I'm gonna let him. And then I'll bring Poseidon. And then I'll bring Amir. Yeah. Oh, whatever. Yeah, no, I can see the chat, but do I think people will start using Fire Anubis? I don't. No. Because it's not the same as he doesn't have Will Runes. What the hell? And his Chloe is so, or his Jasun is so freaking slow. Alright. But yeah, I mean, you guys need to start like looking around and see what works. If you guys see a defense that you attack and you have the monsters and it works, then try out the defense, you know? Look at what they look at their I guess the way that they set it up and everything. So watch this. This is what I love to do. Boom. Oh, she went. See ya. You see, I love using Konamai on that in that type of situation. It's like a free turn, right? It's not a violent proc, but it's a free turn. And now he doesn't have heals. See ya. And now we auto. Easy peasy. Actually, we might need to hit... Yeah, she's going to heal. Let's go for Joltan first. So now I can, like, read comments, like... Right? Does Destroy stack on someone with Destroy in their kit? Yeah. Yeah, it does. Beast Hunters don't... Oh, they do Destroy, yeah, Beast Hunters. Why? Is Chasun seriously about to die? Come on, Chasun. But yeah. Yeah, Beast Hunters. Beth... I don't like either of them. Beth is okay now for Guild Wars, but why make Destroy? I don't see any point for Destroy unless it's like a really good room, right? Like totally disregarding the fact that it's Destroy. But like you see how like the same types of monsters start to appear, like I was saying, like Chloe and Camilla. Or like Theomars and Chasun, like those types of pairs. It's not the full team that necessarily matters. Just having stuff like this guy went full YOLO with Theomars. You could go full YOLO with Theomars. Or like this one, Sierra Orion. If you guys watched my last Guild War video, one of the most overused compositions. Sierra Orion and then some type of nuker on the third slot. It could be Zyros, it could be Zerath, it could be Perna, it could be Kumar, it could be... I've seen people run, also have the Fire Harg in there for a little bit of sustain. Some people run Ratesh. I've seen a Ratesh in there before. I've seen, I've seen Velajul, I think. That was a really weird one. I've seen some really strange ones, like, see again, Chasun, Theomars. A lot of people pair up Veramos and Beladion together, too. Instead of having Perna, though, I've seen a lot of Vertihills in there, too. Let's look at this guy. See, look at this again. Oh, and I already looked at this guy's defense, right? So let's go through and look, right? Full YOLO again. Instead, he has Faye instead of Theomars. Speed Leader, Orion, and then Nuker, right? Similar to like the Sierra thing. Let's keep looking. Chloe Theomars, another one. See again, Veramos, Beladion, Nuker. I'm surprised he's going Sierra and not something else. Like he could go like Galleon, and that would probably be a little bit scarier. Another really, see, Theomars and Chasun. A lot of people do Theomars, Chasun, Orion, like I do. Like, look at this. Or Chloe, sorry, Chloe. But you see that? Like, same types of things. So they keep popping up. And if it works in Guild War defense, it could possibly work in Guild War, or in Arena. But you have to, like, make the speed tuning a little bit better. Because I feel like Guild War is really RNG-based. But... Sierra Bomb Team 160. Yeah, that would, but you'd need Will Runes on everyone. You would need Will Runes, Megan, and you would need something to buff removal in case it's like Chloe team, right? But thanks, Sierra. Is that, I'm saying that right? I hope I said that right. That's alright, Minecraft. I just have that up there because people that I have it up there for people that like get recognized that donate. You know, I like to give credit where credit is due, and of course it's like a Twitch setup too. But yeah. So like check it out. So Chasun Theomars, right? Typical. This next one is really uncanny, and I don't think that works. Like, let's look at his defense log. You notice how he's not getting any successfuls on his second one? If he's getting a successful on his first one, then he's probably going to get on his second one, right? The defense successfuls is because he got on the first one. But any draws, it's due to him losing to the first one, right? The attacker. First. Okay, look, boom. Now we're starting to get into lower, because I think Fury's a little bit lower ranked. So now he's starting to get, maybe he changed up his defense, but midway through. But more recent ones, you see how he's not getting any successfuls on the first one. I don't think, or on the second one. I don't think the second one, I don't think his second defense works. Unless he, people don't have the types of attacks. This is a really weird defense. I do not approve. Theomar's Chasoon, again. See another YOLO build, but instead it has Lagmarone. This is a weird one. I know people that run Theomars in there instead of Sierra. That's a weird one. That's an easy one. That's also another strange one. Yupo. Another YOLO one. Speed Leader. Bernard. Theomars. Like, are you guys starting to get the, I could go through every single one of these, and you'll see Theomars Chasoon. Like, very, very similar teams, and there's a reason, because it works. It works. So... my runes on Poseidon are speed, crit damage, attack. If you're not going speed, crit damage, attack, or attack, crit damage, attack for YOLO in PvP, then you should go like speed, HP, HP for TOA. Alright, so let's actually use an attack. Enough chatting. What's one of the ones that I didn't approve of? I want to show you why it doesn't work. We'll use that for our last attack, because I have to attack green, right? I want to attack one of these higher ones. I can't really do this. See, I do really bad with, like, Ritesh Camilla. Yeah, I do really bad on Ritesh Camilla. So, people know how to clear it. I just don't know. I'm not very good. What's a better one to hit? For an example. I mean, we'll hit this, I guess, because it's YOLO, and we can handle YOLO. So in this case, I want to bring double Chimera. You could use, again, Amir in this type of thing. Yeah. How would I use Juno in AD and Gilbert defense? You need to pair it up with something that follows up. So like Juno, Sierra would be very annoying. Or Juno and then some like Zyros. But you have to have something to follow up. If you have Juno and then just other units like Theomars, like, who cares? I don't find it threatening in the very least. That's why you have to have units that can follow up. Alright, I'm going to have to bring in immunity type units. Actually, I think I can just outspeed this guy. Like, fuck this guy, I could just outspeed him. Watch. Oh, I'm using Galleon on the first one. Could I? It's a very slow guy. I'll try it. I'll try it. I'll try it. No. No. Let's bring in Chasoon comp. Oh, I really want to show. Here, watch. I'll show you my AD and works, right? This is one of my AD options. Can I use my AO as, or can you use your AO as an AD? Yes and no. If you're using some like YOLO one, like this guy is, like let's say this guy's using, oh, don't violent proc. Okay. This guy's using Sierra, Orion, Parna. You can use that as an offense, right? It works. So yeah, in that sense, yeah, you can use your defense as an offense. But if you're running something else, like a different type of team, let's say something like, oh shoot, I'm going to lose Lagmarone. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I have a mirror to replace him. Let's say you're using something else that's more tanky build. I don't think you can use it against certain comps. Oh, are we going to lose a unit? Ah, we interrupted. That's what I thought. Bitch. Yeah. Two different. You have two Poseidons. Yeah, that's good. Oh wow. His Theomars did not hit hard. Why? All right. Well, now we can auto it. Speed HP attack. I mean, I guess it would work for lower arena. But speed HP attack, you either want to commit to full YOLO build or you want to bring in tanky build. You just get your attack from subsets. Especially with someone like Poseidon. I would not go speed HP attack. It doesn't work the same. Speed HP attack is something you'd run in Necro. It's something you'd run in Rift, right? On like Hua. But it doesn't work the same. Especially not on AoE units. It really doesn't. Alright, so the last one will attack that guy that I said I do not approve of his defense. Oh, this guy just switched it. That's good. What's the one that I didn't approve of? Let me try to find it really quick. Hey, this guy's got Nikki. Nice. But I don't know why he's running Nikki. Is this guy the one? No. Yeah, Yupo has a pretty easy to clear defense. Where is it? I think the guy changed it. Oh no, see, this guy already lost his entire... Look at this guy. His thing is already cleared completely. He's gotten annihilated. You see this? He got absolutely annihilated. Because his defense is easy. That's what I mean by I don't approve. 42k third skill. Yes and no. It depends on how fast it's built, and of course if it tunes in with your speed team or with your Wombo team, that would be good. But I mean, is its HP up there alright? Is its crit rate up there alright? Is it on will runes? Is it on violent or despair? Those kinds of things. Like, this guy is getting decent success rates, but on lower guilds, right? These types of defenses, this defense will not work on higher level players. But yeah. Alright, so let's use our last wing. We'll just do it on someone with, I could attack Mistalin, but I do very bad against Roteshin and Camilla, so probably attack airplanes. Now, I should probably attack green. I'll attack these guys. So I'll show you the difference. So you could run this type of team, right, with Chloe. So you see how it's very similar? Or you could run Orion. My Orion's currently unruined. Oh, no, I ruined him back. Okay, we'll use Orion. And then I'll just bring another Wombo team. And I'll bring Poseidon this time. Because it's, you notice how I have no disadvantage when I bring full water team. And Perna's less likely to one-shot someone. So, I'm going to auto this to pretend like it's a defense. We might lose it because of RNG and AI. But let's just... Oh, okay. $195, 79 crit rate. If he's on attack crit damage attack, what is he running then? He has will runes? I mean, that should be fine. Alright, so we're going to auto this, and we're going to see how the whole AI does, right? For just defense type. So boom, he's going for, boom, Fire Monkey King out. One violent proc, boom, dead. And that's why this defense works. And Chasun has enough to sustain him. Like, look at this, boom, violent proc again. Now his Theomars is about to die. I got win off of Aspire because of the violent procs. Like, I get a lot. Sometimes I get a lot of wins off of people just because of violent procs. It's so funny. It's so prone to violent procs when you run this team, right? Just boom, bye bye Theomars. You see what I mean? It works. It works, and people use it because it works. So, boom, boom, boom. Bye bye Chasun. See that? And now we just finish this off with a Wombo. And if you guys think like, oh, I don't want to build a Wombo team just for Arena, Wombo teams work in Guild Wars. Like, look at this. You just bring in 2 AoEs in Galleon. You ready for this? Ready? And you don't necessarily need Tayor in this situation either. Kablowie! See ya! Oh, he barely survived. That's alright. Bye-bye. Wombo works in Guild War and in AD. Or I mean in AO. So boom, just like that. Yeah, I am in the same guild as Claytano. Where is this motherfucker? He's down here. He needs to use more attack. Oh! Oh, he only did 2 attacks. He's used 6 attacks this week. He's doing better. Look at this. See what I mean? Chasun, Theomars. Speed Leader, Orion type deal. Right? Let's look at another one. Theomars, Chasun. Sierra, Orion. You mean... you see what I mean? That's mine. See what I mean? Chasun, Theomars. Chasun, Theomars. And then this guy's running, instead of Chasun, he's running Eladriel. Right? Because you can do that too. We won't even look at Scat. He has so many Nat 5s too. And then this guy runs Iona instead of Chasun too. But, I mean, I think you guys get the point. No, well, official... Lucians with good runes will clear almost every single defense. Even if you have Nemesis runes, there's some Lucian teams that will absolutely have no chance of being Nemesis like healed. Like Lucian will just plow through it, right? And a really, really fast Lucian team will plow through it without the Nemesis proccing, right? Yeah, so if you have Galleon but you don't have any AoE nukers, build a mirror. When I didn't have Poseidon, I didn't like let's look at my summons, right? Last thing before I hop off, because I think I'm gonna start keeping the streams around to an hour and a half ish. It's just easier for people to watch too. Let's look. Or sorry, I'm doing the wrong one. Before I summoned Poseidon, right? So I summoned Poseidon around here. I had, like, let's say, like this, right? These units, right? And that was it. For AO, I'll show you my AO that I used. I don't know why I clicked on that. I used something like this. I used this. And even more so than that, if you had Shimite, that would work even better. I could use this. And I use that sometimes. You see what I mean? So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, last message, focus on your defense. I feel like the defense is more important than you think when you're in Conqueror range. More YOLO defenses with Theomars. A lot of people have trouble with Theomars and Chloe. If you have a very decent AO, or at least Theomars, or even a Chasun, arena offense shouldn't be as big of a deal for you. Bring a slow rolling team. Use like 100 to 200 swords in a week, and you should have no problem climbing up the ranks. The whole balance between, like, oh, I float up in Guardian 2. Oh, sorry. I float up in Guardian 2 because I don't have I have less people attacking me than I have using swords, or my wings. So if a person attacks me every 20 minutes, and if a person attacks me every 30 to 40 minutes, and my wings refresh every 20 minutes, I'm going to just keep climbing the ranks. Or it's going to get to a point where I'm getting attacked every 20 minutes and I'm using a wing every 20 minutes, so I float around that rank. And then there's a point where you don't get attacked so much. Let's say you go to sleep and you get defense wins, and it gets to the point where the defense wins coming in versus the let's say fails that you get, it'll slow down. So it kind of like slows down, like you know, exponentially, and to a point where you come back and then you use your wings and then you'll shoot back up. So if I don't use wings at all, obviously I will drop down all the way down to like fighter, maybe even challenger eventually. But it slows down very, very much so, because maybe I won't get attacked for a couple days, or maybe I'll get defense wins and it'll push me up, right? So that's the whole thing behind it. So if you don't use your attacks, you're gonna drop. If you use your attacks, you'll go up. But you need to make sure that you're never, like right now I have 10 out of 10, don't do that. Make sure you're always using your wings, okay? And always go for Ifrits until you get Theomars and Amir. You need those two. You need them. Even Bomber was struggling with Chloe, or with Camilla and Rena, and he was going to build Amir, but he didn't have one. I was like, dude, focus on Amir because he's so good. And Bomber built Amir, and now he's actually having no problem clearing Rena's. Well, not as much of a problem clearing Rena and Camilla's. He's absolutely in love with them. So, but But you don't need the the game-changing monsters. You could do everything free to play. You can, just not so much in arena. Not so much because everyone has the units, right? Up in Guardian and some of that. But. So that about does it. Don't forget to vote. If you guys didn't vote, there's an eye. It's like an eye at the very top, right? It has a card and it's a poll. Okay, so currently, I think let's check how many people voted. No one has voted. So look, all right, guys, look at the card in the top left corner, or top right corner of the stream. There's going to be an eye. Click on it. It's a poll, and then you can vote for next week's topic. And then we'll discuss that next week. So today we just discussed Arena mainly for PvP, for anywhere from Fighter to Conqueror, and trying to get to the next ranking. And hopefully you guys learned something new. Maybe you came in and you already know everything and you just need to do a little bit more farming. But if you did learn something, then good on you. But make sure you vote. Otherwise, I'll just pick a random one, or maybe I'll just do a Guild Wars stream. But thanks to Tenzan for showing up too. I like it when guildies, because Tenzan's my guildmate. Tenzan is. I'll show you watch. Tenzan, I think it's pronounced. He's in my guild too. Yeah, down here. So, yeah. But a lot of people too get stuck in Conqueror 1, Conqueror 2 range, and they can't push up into Conqueror 3. And the only thing I'd have to say to you is better runes. That's what helped me push higher, was better runes. Better speed, synchronization, just having a Theomar's basic team. I had like Veramos, Belladon, and then I put on like Chloe and Taeor. Like a very, very cringy defense. And I still managed to push into Conqueror for 3 for the first time. Because, I mean, different meta, but at the same time, I still managed to have better runes than before, and then I started getting attacked less often. Maybe I'd get defense successfuls from someone and they wouldn't attack me again after that. So yeah, I mean, it's also about runes. So don't think that just because you have the monsters, you'll get higher. I mean, Obi-Wan Noob has the rune. The monster is capable of being a legend ranked player, but he doesn't have the runes. He has all of the monsters he will ever need in the game. Ever. But he does not have the runes. So he won't be Guardian 2 probably for a few weeks or maybe a month, and he won't be Legend anytime soon because he needs the runes. But yeah, make sure you guys vote. I'll check the votes and we'll discuss the topic next time. I might record the Guild Wars. I don't like doing Guild War Rush so much on stream. I don't know. I don't really like it so much, but hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time. I'm gonna go probably sleep or take a shower or something. But hope you guys learned something new. But make sure you vote. It'll be uploaded later too. So see ya.